I would like to call the special call meeting of the Bluff Board of Mayor and Aldermen to order Monday, January the 30th, 2017, at 11 a.m. This is a business meeting, not a court of law. I'd like to welcome each and every one of you here today. Anyone wanting to comment has 3 minutes in the first session and 3 minutes in the second session. You are unable to speak twice in any session. Citizen comments. If the board members want to make a comment, they can, but if they don't want to, they don't have to. Anyone that's wanting to comment, you come to the podium, give your name, address, and phone number. No talking during the meeting. If you want to talk, you need to go into the hallway or outside. You can be asked to leave if you're out of order. If you have a request for information, you must come to the office at City Hall during office hours, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., Monday through Friday, and fill out the proper paperwork. Then, roll call.
Alderman Bratton.
Yes, here.
Vice Mayor Harrison.
Here.
Alderman Harrison.
Here.
The next thing on the agenda is a prayer by Vice Mayor Ray Harrington, Alderman Richard Bowman is sick, and immediately following the prayer, pledge allegiance to the flag.
Let us pray. Lord, we come to you now for this meeting of the town of Bluff City. We ask that all the decisions and actions that we do during this meeting be for the best for the town of Bluff City. We ask for your forgiveness each and every day. We thank you for everything you do for us. In your son's holy name we pray. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next thing on the agenda is citizens' comments, the first session. If you want to make comments, come to the podium and give your name, address, and phone number. Okay, if we don't have any comments here, we'll move on to discussion/action of the stormwater permit. Todd Wood.
Good morning. Most of you all heard me talk about this before. But what you have a permit with the state of Tennessee to discharge stormwater into waters of the state, rivers, lakes, streams, etc. That is generally a 5-year cycle. The new permit was issued back in the fall. It was amended by the state, and deadlines kind of pushed back because there's been some lawsuits filed against it, which will be heard next November. The new deadline was pushed back to February 1st, so that's Wednesday, I believe. The mayor has a copy of the permit. We've been working with her on that. There are 5 segments of it. First part is public involvement and education. Let me back up and say, we've had this permit in place. The current one was done back in 2010. Of course, we're in 17 now, so I said the 5-year cycle, it just kept getting extended. This will cover you for the next 5 years. Without this permit, you're not allowed to discharge stormwater into waters of the state. All the other jurisdictions in Sullivan County are doing the same thing, in Johnson City, Washington County, and Jonesboro, etc. So what we have to do is, it's called the notice of intent. And under these 5 items, we have to tell the state, this is what we plan to do for the next 5 years. Now, there are certain things we have to do that are written into the state permit. But within that, we have flexibility on how we accomplish those goals. And with the notice of intent, it's more big picture. We're not detailing out every little thing we're gonna do each week or each month. It's just telling the state, we plan to do this, we have to tell them milestones, the deadlines, when we're gonna accomplish certain things. Most of what we're doing now is reviewing what we already have in place and updating it to meet the new permit requirements, or updating it to enhance it to better improve water quality in, town of Bluff City. And if you have any questions while we're going through this, feel free to ask them. The first part is public education and involvement. So with that, what I will say is that any public that are here, you go to the town's website, there's information on there to learn more about water quality. So that's one of the things we have to do, is educate the public and get the public more involved. That's one of the big pushes by the state under this permit cycle, is getting the public more involved. So one of the things we'll be doing is reviewing the plan we already have in place. We'll probably have to get some members of maybe even this board or the planning commission and the general public to get together and figure out how best do we do that. Next part is called illicit discharge. And that's when, things other than, just rainwater are going into our storm drain system and into the lakes and rivers and streams. And we have to have a plan in place to inspect all of our streams when it hasn't rained for 3 or 4 days. It's called dry weather stream, to make sure there's not a pipe that's discharging water and it hasn't rained for 4 days, and why is there water coming out? Doesn't mean that it's an illicit discharge. That's just a red flag that goes up. We have to then investigate that. We have an ordinance that's already in place for that. I don't believe under the new permit we have to update anything on that, but we will review it. We tell the state we're going to review that, check it against the new permit, and update as necessary. We do have to keep updating our storm system map, our catch basins, our pipes, our major ditch lines, and keep updating that and adding more information to it. At some point throughout this process, and most of this review is going to occur next fiscal year. The permit cycle, actually, year 1 ends June 30th of this year, so we're already 6 months into it. So in the next 5 months or so, we're just going to be reviewing what we have, seeing who else we need to get involved, and then next fiscal year is when we really start, getting more involved in it and asking other people to get involved. At some point, we may have to come back to the board and ask for certain funds to implement pieces of this. And this is one reason why it probably would be good to have several members of this board as part of that, so you're involved in it from the beginning, and we can find out the most cost-effective way to do this with the town. The third item is construction stormwater. That's basically plan review for land development projects, making sure people have erosion control up, silt fence, or sediment basins, or whatever it might be during the construction process. We do have to update that. We've got 18 months from October of this past year to update that ordinance. The state has changed some things in their construction general permit, and we will have to update that, and I'll be getting with the mayor to go over that, and then have Mr. Fry review that, and we'll bring that back to the board. That, again, that'll occur probably about a year from now, is my guess on that schedule. The fourth thing is permanent stormwater. We also call that water quality. That's the filtering of the stormwater after a site has been developed. So a subdivision, a service station, an office building of 1 acre or more of land disturbance, or part of a larger common development like a subdivision. That's the part where the lawsuits have come up. And so We have a current ordinance that went into effect back in 2007 or 2008. What we told the state, and the state has basically told everybody, this is how you do this, is that we're going to continue to enforce that ordinance until the lawsuits are heard, which will be next November sometime, and then January 1st of 2018, we have 90 days to submit an implementation plan stating that we're going to change the ordinance, what we're going to do. Now, a year from now, or 11 months from now, we may hear from the state that is going to be pushed back even further because of the lawsuits. And the lawsuits, it's coming from both sides. One side says the permit is not strict enough, the other side says the permit's too strict. So we're kind of caught in the middle, don't know what to do. The state doesn't know what to do either from the sense of changing things because they say everything's fine. So we'll see what happens with that lawsuit and then update that ordinance as necessary to meet the new permit requirements. Right now, we just continue enforcing the current ordinance. The fourth thing is good housekeeping, and that's the leading by example. We can't require that all the citizens and the business owners in the area do things to improve water quality, and the town of Bluff City not do it. So it's called good housekeeping, pollution prevention. We have to have pollution prevention plans for all of our facilities and our operations, including lawn maintenance. And each year we have to inspect the site to make sure that we're doing everything well. And I will tell you that the Public Works Department and all the facilities and their garage and everything have done a really good job with that. When we do the inspections each year, it's hard to find anything. Same thing came out of that the state audit when they came through about a year and a half ago, I guess it was. So the town's doing a great job on that. Doesn't mean we can't improve it, but doing well. So those are the 5 things. Part of the good housekeeping, we have to do training of all the new employees and the current employees, and we'll be updating those plans on how best to do that. So those are the 5 things. It's not the mayor signing that, sending it to the state is not saying, oh, we're going to spend X amount of dollars. It's just a notice on the 10th. They're saying, okay, this is what we plan to do over the next 5 years, and we're going to detail it out. Anybody have any questions or need any more information? So what we'll do from this point, when the mayor signs this, she'll get it to me and we'll transmit it through email to feedback. That's the preferred method they want, and we'll do that. I guess today, if you sign that, just scan it in and email it to me, and I'll attach that with all the other maps we have to send to the town. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Carter, do you need a motion for on that?
No, you can, that's what we're saying.
Do we have a motion?
Make a motion.
Do we have a second? Take a vote, please.
Alderman Stratt,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harrison,
Yes.
Alderman Harrison.
The next thing on the agenda is discussion and action on the audit report by Rutherford Marshall Company.
Having me. My name is Curtis Wilson, for those of you who have not.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If you've not seen me before, but we have completed our audit as of June 30, 2016, and I'm gonna go over it briefly. I know that you all can read the report, but there's a few things that I want to point out that you should know about. And as you flip into the report, one of the most important things that you can look at really begins outside of our opinion, that's really, really important. Really starts on page 6, which is management's discussion and analysis that's a good summary of, a lot of the things that are in the financial statement. It's a good starting place, and it gives a little bit of comparison year to year, rather than just the current year, so you kind of see how things go. I think that's pretty important when it comes to just understanding where these are coming from. But as you'll notice, as you go through this, we have issued an unmodified opinion, which is the best opinion that we can give. We're not aware of any material things that would change your mind about these contracts. But after page 6, on the most of it, let's go to the page, let's say 12, but it doesn't sign up. 13. 13 is the statement of net position. This is a little different than what you see in your budgetary. This is what's called GAAP or GASB 34 presentation, which is not based on your fund balance. It's based on basically assets and liabilities. So it's a little different than what you would see in your monthly meetings. You don't budget this way, but it is important that you see what's on here. A couple of things that will stand out to some people that it's not so bad on this one is you've got deferred outflows of resources, and you've got deferred inflows of resources. Those mostly relate to your pensions and your tax revenue that you not collect. Just important that you know what those numbers are and how they can possibly impact your net position. Year over year, on page 14, you'll see that on the government-wide basis, statement of activities, for the governmental activities, you had a change in that position of roughly $258,000 increase. And under business type activities, you'll see an increase of $146,000. Both of those are good positives. It was very much needed for the business type activities, and the water sewer pretty much had to have that. And I'll get into that in a little bit more detail here shortly. On page 15 is where you'll see the governmental funds, and this is the way you're used to seeing it presented for your budgets and items like that. I just wanted to point out that's where that's coming from, and if you were to look at the pages, bottom of page 16, which is telling you how you feel. Did you add to fund balance? Did you take away from fund balance? Overall, your general fund was up $320,000 year over year. With the debt service fund obviously decreasing, that should be common, it should continue to go down unless you add additional funds. And then your drug enforcement funds increased $5,000. Just point those out. Now let's go. It's important to look at pages 18 and 19. This is the proprietary funds. This is where you'll see your water sewer fund and your solid waste fund. As you're very well aware, the state's forced you all to raise some rates, and it's important to see how those rates affected your net position. On your water and sewer fund, if you'll look on page 19, the change in net position increased to $155,000. That's a good sign. It gives you an opportunity to come back to the state and show that you did in fact go positive on that. I know that they were pretty rough on you since it was negative in the past. The only thing I'll point out too is that on the solid waste utility fund, you did continue to show a loss on that. You'll probably want to consider doing something with that fairly quick, just because that's getting what I would consider pretty low, just to be able to operate and fund itself. It isn't required to be self-funded. That's the key things when it comes to the actual numbers. If you really get bored in the notes, you can read all the notes from the pension plans, and if you understand those, good luck. Roughly, I think it's 4 or 5 pages, 6 pages just dealing with pension plans and how that affects your government-wide pay. it's very hard to explain, but ultimately what it does is it says that anybody that's employed by the city now is earning retirement. It will not be paid for years to come, but they're earning that now, so when you're looking at the government-wide statement, there's a liability for what you're eventually going to pay. So it's just important to know that's what these are really doing for you now, is you're just accounting for that liability as you accrue it on that basis. And along with that, there's some sensitivity analysis in here where if the investments change 1%, you have an asset or liability. And yours is not bad. I've seen some that 1% on the school system, maybe 1% less than 7.5%, they owe $10 million. 1% more, and they had $1 million in assets. I mean, it can be that sensitive. In your case, it's not too sensitive, so you can do fine either way. And they've done pretty well so far, guessing at what the average return is going to be. But just keep that in mind when you're looking at your government-wide. If there's a huge swing, I'll make sure I point that out in the future. But in the third year, it wasn't a huge swing, so it's worth noting. Now, let's go all the way pretty much to the back here. I wanted to know that we have page numbers on it, but it's, I think, roughly 55. This is our report on internal control over financial reporting. This is where we point out any findings that we had during our audit. And I'm going to give a brief summary from last year, this year. Last year, I believe we had 11 findings, and this year we have 5. But then 6 findings were corrected. That's good. That's what we always want to see is improvement. It would be ideal if there was 0, but at the same time, it's worth noting that there was marked improvement year over year. And the first finding you'll look on here is an internal control manual. Last year, I believe it was, the state mandated that everybody have an internal control manual. You don't, you as a board do not have to approve that, but we have to have the manual written. And it's not done currently, but it's almost finished. So it's close. So that's not a huge deal as far as creating issues. However, it's just important to note that you do want to make sure your internal controls are strong, and by having that manual or force in your hand, documenting what you do. So. And then, of course, finding number 2, I've already pointed out, that's where the proprietary fund, solid waste is not self-supporting. That's considered a finding because the state can step in and force you to take action, or you can take action yourself. And it's not me to say what you need to do, but it's just saying you have the laws, you probably don't want to walk in the future.
You might want to explain that about just a little bit more, so they know what that is, the garbage.
It is the garbage, and it's the fees that you are collecting are simply not enough to cover your costs. And if we can't, if you don't turn that around, the state will step in and say, well, we don't care what you think, we're going to have to increase your prices X dollars. It's the same thing that they've done on the water and sewer side. And so, unfortunately, the cost is what it is. So the revenues, if you pick up revenues, somehow that cost. I think that's important to know. That's not my call. That's the board of decide. It's important to take care of that, and the citizens understand that you have to take care of that. You don't have a choice. The inventory number 3 is repeated from last year. It's just we would like to see more often inventory taken, so that you know what's out there in case there's shrinkage or something going on. You just never know. We'd like to see that done a little bit more often than we did. And that was the same as last year. So that was repeated. Finding number 4 is expenditures exceed appropriation, and it's repeated from the prior year. In this particular case, lost the page number. I believe it was $9,000 over expended that was approved. The original budget was fine, When it was amended, you ended up going over by like $9,000. The good news is that your revenues came in over budget, so ultimately you did add the fund balance. But unfortunately, I do have to give you a finding where there's more expenditures than was approved by the board. And $9,000 is not a lot for your budget. And if you consider that your revenues came in higher, you ultimately still added the fund balance. So I still think you're okay, but I just wanted to point out that that's why that's there. And then finding number 5, which is the last finding that we've got here, is bad debt. This was repeated from last year, and this is where the water and sewer fund receivables over 180 days should probably be written off or given up for collections or some further pursuit. And then just as we do our audit, we know we have to make adjustments for that. And we just wanted to make sure we get that addressed. But that's just one of the things, and that's the 5 that we've got this year. I think that's a little bit better than it was last year. Well, a lot better if you want to look at it in plus than that. So, that's what I've got. I'll be glad to answer any questions. Of course, as always, feel free to call me in my office if you do have any questions as you look at even additional detail. But I just want to give you a good overview of what's in here.
So, do you have any questions? You want to ask something from this without, anything that's in the report? You want to report about the bad debt? They've been there for quite a while, and
We just haven't been through every collection.
so we took a local collections that they didn't collect it, and we could not take them.
Yeah, it didn't.
Write them off.
So if we're on the process, that's been written off.
It just looked like the receivables were really high for the real question.
Even with that solid waste money, just go over and charge that or we're topsoil now. For the garbage.
Is that the only thing we're behind on disregard?
Mm-hmm.
That looks really good on water and sewer.
Yeah, water and sewer, I think.
Because it was a mistake, because they made that in this too much.
I know, and it's a good call, but I'd go, say, look, we were the last, the one, the increase we did last year, seems to have helped us out. I don't know that any further increases. Worth a shot.
We really have to move not try this. That we are under this order, and we'll have to.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. You don't want that to happen to solid waste if you can avoid it.
No.
I have a question. I read last year's audit report, the debt of the loan. How much of a loan is that?
How much of the loan do you have outstanding? Okay.
Yes. On the first 2 pages there, please. Or at least it was in 2015.
Is that on page 31?
Yes.
Well, last year it was reported $1,686,000. I wondered if that went up because the loan, we received 2 loans. One for $1,686,000, one for $1,197,000.
Yeah, currently the bonds outstanding are $1.4 million, $1.471.
That is the bond,
That is for the, let me correct that. As of June 30th, both the primary government and the business activities were $1.471 million. For just the primary government, it's $559,000. And then basically the business type for the water sewer bonds, which is $912,000, I think, June 30th. Some payments hadn't been, some of the payments that were behind.
well, actually, it's the 2 years for us, it does have to actually be, I just want to try to understand it as it's been our audit, as it goes straight forward. 2015, 2016, we paid what we bought, $1,686,000, $830,000 grant. And last year, we thought we carried over the same amount. I'm just wondering, since it's a total of $2,868,000 with $830,000 grant, is that reflected in the audit?
I'm not following.
They don't work through them.
Oh, they've not,
The loans, what has been appropriated or approved for, have not gone down.
oh, okay.
The decision is June 30th, so
Correct.
it's
Correct.
afterwards.
So I'm just looking to June 30th for that.
Right.
Yeah, they've got that availability there, but they've actually not drawn down all of the funds on the grant. In the month.
It was done after June 30th, this one is June 30th before last year. So that you're talking about will show on next year.
Well, actually, that one was approved September 28th, 2015.
But it didn't take action as far as getting the money until after June 30th.
They didn't need all the money by June 30th, so they could draw it down.
Right.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
they don't get all of it at once, they only get it as needed.
Right.
Okay.
I'll make that one more question. How much bonds do we still owe on City Hall? Do you have any idea?
Is it 2002?
How many years?
Looks like it's 2040, isn't it?
That includes the revenue bond, which if I can, see right there, see where it breaks that out. I don't recall off the top of my head.
Well, that ain't a big deal. I kept wondering how much we owe on.
Looks like 2026.
2026.
2026, I know.
Yeah.
I've heard in the 40s too.
Yeah, now into the 40s would be for the business opportunities in the water and sewer, how long those go till. By 2026, the principal on general fund bonds should be paid.
Good job.
No matter what, but I guess none of us have to worry about it. I'll be 102 years old. But our children and our grandchildren will have to pay it off.
Perfect. And if you did look at the schedule of long-term debt on page 49, it is worth noting, since they were asking about it, in fiscal year in 2018, there will be roughly $400,000 of bond payments due on the water and sewer. There's one of them that has I believe it's a balloon payment at that point. Is that too familiar?
It's just due at that time, once you do it, that time you can draw down on it completely. But the USDA loans, they will come back and say, what the repayment schedule is,
Yeah.
30, 40 years.
They'll go to 30, 40 years after that point. But currently, it's showing in 18. It's important to note that that looks like a really big number.
That 357 and plus interest and all that makes $399. So they have to take the plan for this. Okay.
Second question.
Pretty much straightforward. As long as you understand the topic. I couldn't.
Thank you, we really appreciate everything. Both of you, appreciate your work that you've done. Thank you. Okay, the next thing is the agenda, discussion and action. I'll make the open public hearing.
We already going to approve the audit report.
You have a motion to approve the audit report.
I'll make a motion to approve audit report as stated and written.
Do we have a second? Tom, second. I'll take a vote, please.
Alderman Wright,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harrison,
Yes.
Alderman Harrison,
Yes.
-0080. Mr. Price.
Ordinance amending ordinance 95-012 of the Bluff City Municipal Code 14-201, repealing ordinance 2006-007, Plan Residential Development Zoning District in its entirety. Now therefore be it ordained by the Board of Mayor and Aldermen of the City of Bluff City, Tennessee, that Article 3, definitions, Article 4, establishment of districts, Article 7, provisions governing use districts, be amended by removing Plain Residential Development District in its entirety.
Does anyone have any comments? If not, I'll close the public hearing. Does anyone have a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Have a second. Take a vote, please.
Alderman Stratton,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harrison,
Yes.
Alderman Harrison.
Yes.
Like to open a public hearing on ordinance number 2017-001. Mr. Price.
Ordinance amending section 15-305 of the Bluff City Municipal Code regarding speed limits. Be it therefore ordained by the Board of Mayor and Aldermen of the County of Bluff City, Tennessee, that section 15-305 of the Bluff City Municipal Code be hereby amended by changing the speed limit on Holston Drive from 25 miles per hour to 15 miles per hour. That the appropriate signage be installed upon this ordinance becoming law. This ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its final passage of the proper requirement.
Do we have any comments on this one? If not, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Have a second? Take a vote, please.
Alderman Stratton,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harrison,
Yes.
Alderman Harrison.
And the next thing on the agenda, discussion and action, first reading on ordinance number 2017-002. Mr. Price.
This is an ordinance changing the speed limit of length of Highway 44 from to 35 miles per hour. It's ready for consideration of first reading.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
I'll second.
Take a vote, please.
Alderman Stratton,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harrison,
Yes.
Alderman Harrison.
Yes.
And next is discussion and action on first reading on ordinance number 2017-0003. Mr. Price.
An ordinance to amend Title 10, Chapter 2 of the Bluff City Municipal Code dealing with adequate food, adequate shade, and adequate shelter for dogs and cats. This is ready for consideration on first reading.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Take a vote, please.
Alderman Stratton,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harrison,
Yes.
Alderman Harrison.
Yes. Probably go with second.
We're down to the last section of the citizens' comments. If anyone has any comments, please come to the podium with your name, address, and phone number.
David Smith, 200 Highland Circle, 538-4736. I would like to ask the board members to go ahead and vote on that trash deal to give it 25% and let it ride there for the next year and see how it works out.
I think we could just do $1, give it $1.50.
Yeah, but we really, it's a little
More
bit.
than that.
How much did we say, what was it, 8,000?
It's $8,000.
Yeah. we have to make up $8,000. And the reason is because the trash, garbage is the same as the water and sewer. We have to take care of it with money that we accumulated from the cost of the water and sewer. The cost of garbage. And we've been going in the hole for several years on that, on the garbage.
What would it take?
Would you be able to tell how much it would take?
You know, rough estimate.
Is it not just a fixed rate, a fixed contract fee for cost?
It's $12.50, $13.
So it's 10 pounds, that's the other 12.50, it's just that.
$2.
I say go up. Why you, go ahead and go up.
Right.
Can we make a motion that's such that?
We have to do it more.
Okay, so we'll have
Sharon, get the figures, all the figures together, and we'll draw it more.
next week.
Yes, my name is Becky Buchanan, 755 Brand Road, 2761165. If the people remember, the board of mayors and aldermen voted to not increase the garbage bill to save the citizens some money because there was so much talk about people living on a fixed income. So, you know, the board did the citizens a favor and saved the citizens, the total citizens that whoever had paid the garbage pickup over $8,000. So, you know, people should commend the board for saving the citizens, but yet they went in the hole on the garbage pickup. So I just want to commend y'all for that.
Does anyone else have a comment?
Shirley Clark, 932 Lumber Lane, Bluff City. I just want to say thank you to the police officers and the board for looking at the speed limit here in Bluff City. I appreciate what you all do.
Thank you very much. Yes, no, I'd like a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn?
I'll say.
What?
Teach you to mom, and be a cheerleader.
Well, you know what I am.
Who made that? It's pretty big,
Every meeting.
Jack makes second, take a vote, please.
Alderman Stratt.
Yes.
Alderman Harrison.
Yes.
Alderman Carroll.
Yes.
Mickey, I heard you said rah, rah, just a while.
Oh, I didn't think that.